Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Oshina. Look at this. I am in my new filming space, my new bedroom. I moved, I bought a house with my sister, and we are very happy and excited. These bookshelves behind me though, they're not gonna be staying like this, but I had to just get the books out of the boxes. So I got my sister to just put them on the shelf, and this is how she did it. So most of them are not even facing out, so that means I can't find anything right now. So to talk about these books that I read in February, I'm gonna mostly use pictures, and I actually didn't read that many of my own physical books anyways. I only have 3 of those, and then the rest are all from the library. So I'm gonna talk about all of these books. I didn't have a great reading month in February, which isn't surprising because I was very busy basically getting ready to move, but March has been a much better reading month. I'm very excited to talk about March books, but we're not there yet. We're gonna talk about February first. I'll start with Christian fiction, and unfortunately, the only Christian fiction that I read were 2 DNFs. So that's a huge letdown, but I'm planning to turn that around for March. I just didn't pick good picks for this month. First up is The Elusive Truth of Lily Temple by Joanna Davidson Politano. I have since learned that this author does have very unique writing, because I was struggling with this book and I was like, what am I missing? Like, I know a lot of people like her books, but this one was not for me. I could not connect to her writing style at all. Don't know how to explain what it was like, just that I wasn't tracking with the story. I didn't feel like I had a grip on who is this character, what is she doing. Yeah, so it opens with an interesting scene where she just like follow this lady named Lily Temple, and she goes to this house and she just lets herself in and she talks to this guy. He's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I have a story to tell. And she starts telling a story. That's as far as I could understand, because then I think she started telling a story, but I couldn't tell what was story and what was reality, because even reality didn't make sense. And it was just one of those things. So I did DNF this book, and it was my Patreon buddy read, so that is too bad. I'm sorry to that. But I'm really hoping to have a better month in March. So yeah, I wouldn't particularly recommend this, but I do know a lot of people that like her books, and I have been told by people that I should try some of her other books because I might like them better. So I do plan to still try books from this author, but this one was not a good one for me. This book to talk about is Even After This by Deborah Clack. This is actually technically not even Christian fiction. It's just clean secular fiction, but it's published by a Christian publisher. It is the Haven Publishing Company group that was recently launched by Baker Bookhouse. So that's really exciting. They did send me this book to read and review for free, so thank you to them. And this is my honest experience. I didn't actually DNF it, so I don't know why I misspoke there. I was really excited to read this book because the premise sounded like something I would really like. Basically, it followed this woman who, you know that something tragic has happened to her, and she was previously married and she's not anymore, and there's tragedy around that, and she's trying to rebuild her life, and she ends up meeting a celebrity and they have a romance. So I thought the book was going to be a celebrity romance trope, like, and it is, but the way that this lady's grief really shaped her life and her character and parts of the book. It was such a strange combination to have this depth of grief, which, you guys, trigger warning for loss of a spouse and children. But the book starts with her going to this restaurant and running into the celebrity, and they're meet cute. Her grief really impacted who she was as a person, and she kind of lost all confidence in herself, and she was just very awkward, in particular around celebrities, but just in general, she really didn't know who she was, and it just was written in a way where it was like kind of whiplash in terms of there's this kind of lighthearted rom-com-y stuff happening with the celebrity romance, but then like more deep, kind of more women's fiction, you could say, with this girl and what she's going through, or this lady. So I didn't like it, to be honest. It didn't work for me. I'm definitely looking forward to more books by this publisher. I think they're doing great things, but this one just wasn't it for me. Okay, next. You guys, some of you, I just need you to know, we all have different taste, and it's okay. But next I did listen to the audiobook for The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. And volume 1, okay? It's like 2 hours long, the audiobook, maybe 4 hours. Very short. And people are raving about these books. Like, they're like on volume 5 or on whatever, and I love this is the best thing ever, like, and I was like, what is going on? Like, why do people love this so much? So my library has all the audiobooks, so I checked out volume 1 right away. The narrator is very quirky. Like, she reminds me of Anne of Green Gables, actually, just the way that she's so innocent and just like funny, the way that she sees the world and what she says, and she's not shy to like talk to anyone. Just liked her character for sure. However, the plot just didn't work for me because I don't understand. I think I'm just not into cozy. I'm not into cozy when there's no plot. I want a plot to drive the character forward, or at least make the character a little more interesting. I just found that her journal entries were just nothing. Like, there were just a couple that were interesting, but most of the time I'm like, why did we need to know that? Like, I don't care what's going on. So I am so sorry, you guys. I gave this 2 stars. Like, I didn't hate it, but I also was like, how did anyone continue past volume 1? But hey, so many people love it. Most of you probably do like it. So I want you to just love it and enjoy it. There are too many books for me to be reading for me to continue this series. Like, people say that it gets good like at volume 4-ish, and I'm like, I'm just not willing to give the time. I'm really not. So I will not be continuing. And I gave it a try. I'm willing to try these things, but yeah, that was just not it. On to young adult. So I do have 2 young adult books to hold up. It's the Warcross duology. So it was nice to come back to it. I had read it when it first released years ago, and I was so into Marie Lu because she wrote their Legend trilogy, which I'd love to reread as well. But I just really liked Marie Lu's way of writing action, and she's more plot focused than romance, which I like for me. I've heard some people say like there's too much romance, but I mean, of course I love it, so that's fine. So Warcross, it is science fiction, a little bit dystopian, video games, virtual reality, those kind of things. And you follow this world where Warcross is a game, and it's similar to League of Legends, but there's maps where you basically have to defeat, or is it like, it's similar to Capture the Flag maybe? You have to defeat the other team, and there's like little pop-ups that you can like grab, like boosters or I don't know, tricks or whatever that you do in video games where you can like defeat the other person or like freeze them or whatever. This girl that you follow is really good at the game, and she's also good at like coding, and stuff happens where she ends up actually meeting the creator of the game named, what's his name? Hideo. Oh, Hideo, what a little sweet guy. Very misguided, but that's okay. Hideo, yeah, he's the creator of the game, and then Amika is the girl, and it's their romance, but mainly Hideo's trying to figure out who's trying to hack into his game, because there's like been hackers and he doesn't like that. So Amika's gonna help him track down these hackers and defeat them. So that's what the story is. And then you do see them playing the video game. I personally really liked this book. There are 2 B words though, the boy kind of the B word, and then a couple like hells and stuff. So that's fine for me. Language, it was okay. Like I just truly hate the F word, so I never want to see that. And there's no God's name in vain, which is nice. There's one steamy makeout session where they're on a couch and his hands go under her top on her stomach and her back. That's it. And then there's a super side mention. Like when I tell you it's like 2 sentences alluding to 2 boys that were in a relationship. There's that as well. And that's it. So for this first book, I think it's a great pick for a 14-year-old and up. I would be comfortable saying, here you go for a 14-year-old, Christian, whoever, read this book. Now for Wildcard, however, this is where it gets sad, because Wildcard, it had less language, a very much fade to black scene, which I did not remember. So that was too bad. The plot of this is exciting. Like, it's a great continuation. It's like, I'm telling you, such small buildup, but the fact is they are kissing, and then you know that they go to the bed and do it. So that sucks for me. I was not happy to see that. So for that reason, like, I do hesitate to recommend this book to anyone 17 years old or younger. Warcross, I think, is great for, like I said, like 14. So it's too bad. And on top of that, Warcross ends on a super cliffhanger. So you will want to read the second book. I don't know, you guys. Anyways, yeah, Fade to Black. And then again, that the side gay characters, they do come into play like very, very briefly as well. So there's that. But so I'm kind of, I don't know how to recommend this because of that Fade to Black scene. I just did not remember that it was there, and it is vague, but the fact is it's there. So up to you guys what you think about this, but as an adult, personally, I enjoyed reading these books. I'm going to keep them. I like these books, but for teens, use your discretion. I don't know. Then I did read Heart Check by Emily Charlotte, and this is a young adult hockey romance, and I had heard that it was clean, so I was like, okay, awesome. But unfortunately, there was too much language for me to enjoy it and recommend it to you guys. There's no spice. They make out once in a car, and she does get on his lap, and they talk about that. Yeah, there's F words in it too. So I didn't rate this book actually, because when I got to a certain point and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to recommend this. I don't even know what I would rate this. So I decided to finish it, but I just decided I'm not gonna rate it. So there's my experience. And I read a book called Into the Rapids, and I don't remember the author because I just got this from my library as audio. It's a middle grade book, and I was just kind of inspired by middle grade March, and I wanted to get a head start. So I started listening to this book, and it appealed to me because it looked like it was going to be a survival story, like where this flood happens and this small town gets cut off from resources, and you follow this girl and her mom and they have to survive. And I thought, ooh, that would be fun to read. But it was very much not a survival story. It was a story about grief and anxiety and how to accept help when you need it. And it had a very strong message in that way. Like, it felt like the author wanted to write that message, and she just used this story plot premise to do that. And I wasn't interested in that. Like, I was hoping for a middle grade survival story, and there is that, but most of the pages are taken up with this girl, first of all, acting way older than her age. She was like 11 or 12-ish, and the emotional maturity that she had, I guess you could argue that because she was having to parent her mom in a way, like her mom was out of commission and was not being a parent, so this girl had to fend for herself. And I guess I could see how that would like trigger this emotional maturity, but at the same time, it still didn't fit. I still felt like this girl character was like, how did she just say that? And how did she emotionally regulate in that moment when a teenager or even an adult wouldn't be able to do it that well? And it just did feel like the author had a full-on agenda, not in a bad way, but I just didn't want to read it. I just wanted something fun, and this was more so like, I guess if your child or if you struggle with anxiety and panic attacks and talking about it, this might be something that like could show you a way of how to deal with it personally, and then also how other people should respond to you, or how you should respond to someone having a panic attack, because there are 2 panic attacks described on page. Neglect of a parent, like this mom, she had serious issues like grief and PTSD and anxiety herself. Like, she was not being a parent for most of the book until the very end. There was a lot going on, and I did not sign up for this. So that actually might appeal to some of you, and I wouldn't say that it was a bad book or badly written. Like, it's just like all of the themes in it, I was like, oh, okay, this isn't, I'm not here for a fun time. Like, I'm here to be taught about anxiety in children and parents, and how to be a better parent and a better person. I don't know. So that's all I have to say. Okay, last book that I'll talk about is You Are Fatally Invited by Andy Pliego. This was fun. This is a mystery thriller. I thought it was more thriller than mystery, but it's actually like pretty much just mystery. And I actually made a mini reading vlog reading this book in my shorts. So I don't know if you can link short, but if you go to my shorts tab, if you go to the shorts and look for it, you'll see mini reading vlog, Andy Pliego, You Are Fatally Invited. And it was really fun to share my experience with you all. And I read this because I've seen Lauren and Paris recommend this book, and I was like, they said it's clean and Christian friendly, I'm gonna read it. And it is clean and Christian friendly, I would say. There's like basically no language and no spice. And it's a mystery. It's a murder mystery. And it's, I think, I've never read anything by, what's her name? Agatha Christie. Never read anything, but, and Then There Were None is a book. Is that the one, or is it Murder on the Orient Express? Something, I mean, all of her books are murder mysteries, right? Apparently this is like that because all these authors get invited to an island and they slowly start getting killed off, and you're trying to figure out who is killing them off. And you follow different perspectives and you're trying to figure that out. The problem is, I was so not invested. Like I was very bored for most of the book just because none of these people were good people. I didn't connect with any of their characters. I didn't care. Like the first one that died, I was like, oh, that sucks for them. And then people kept dying and I was like, oh, okay, that's what this is. And I more so just wanted to know who was doing it, and that's kind of what kept me reading. But the people that kept dying, I was like, it's fine. I don't care about them. But then something happened where I did get invested. Last half, I was way more invested and I did have an enjoyable experience in the end. And I thought the reveals and the twists were interesting and I liked it. And that was nice. So I don't regret reading it. I gave it 3 stars. Like, if you like mystery, try it. I'm more of a thriller person, not really interested in reading about like pretentious rich people, and all of these characters were very pretentious. I don't care about them. I don't care. Those people, I will never be those people, and I just don't relate to them. So I wasn't rooting for anyone except maybe the girl's name that started with an M. I want to say Mara or something. I don't know. She was the one, she was like the hostess. I liked her character. Mira? Is that what it is? Anyways, I liked her fine. Everyone else, no. But there was cool like reconciliation at the end, and I did like the last little twisty twist as well. So that's all I can say. But if you want to see my experience, I did read it in a little reading vlog, so you can see that. But those are all the books that I read in February. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'll write all of them down below, and I'll link any reading vlogs that I did down below as well. And I am going to film myself setting up these bookshelves. But I have to tell you that March is kicking my butt in terms of how much time I have to actually like sit down and film videos. I've been reading like crazy. I've been reading a lot of books, so that's awesome. And then I've been working. That's kind of what I've been doing, is reading and working and then trying to unpack. So I haven't been filming as much. And I realized that I was gonna have to film this video before my shelves are even ready. So you get to see the before the after, which makes sense. And yeah, I'm gonna do a full-on organization of these shelves, and you will see it in a video, but it's probably at least a week away, gonna be honest. So you should see the mess that I'm looking at right now. You're just seeing that mess, but I'm looking at one as well. So yeah, but I'm really excited to share all of the upcoming content with you guys. I am having such a good time on my channel. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. Keep being kind, keep being good people. I love it. Let's spread that kindness around, and thank you for being here, you guys. If you have any middle grade recommendations that are more survival adventure, please tell me, because I was really wanting to read just watching a kid and her mom survive in the wilderness, and that is not what happened. So please tell me your middle grade recommendations, because I'm trying to find one, but I don't like any of them. So yeah, okay, thank you for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.